Hey guys, what's up? In some robbery-oriented movies, it seems very fascinating when we looks into a black-colored computer screen which is filled up of code, and the very first thing which strikes into our mind is hacking. Welcome to Technical Tree PvP guys, and you are watching How to Hack Anything. Guys, if you really want to become a hacker, you need to be very passionate about computers, programming and coding. You need to be curious about learning new things, because this world is full of problems waiting to be solved, and if something is solved once, then that solution is going to be shared to the whole world and nothing is left with you. So you need to be curious about learning new things, guys. Whenever a word hacker strikes into our mind, we start thinking about some kind of nerds, some kind of bad guys working for the bad means and all. But let me clear you that there are two kinds of hackers: a white hat hacker and a black hat hacker. White hat hackers are the good guys. They works for the good means. They hacks and breaks into the system to know about the vulnerabilities to make internet a safer place. Whereas black hat hackers are the false guys. They are the bad guys. They works for the false means. They hacks and breaks into the system to steal the private information, money, document, or something he is not authorized to. Now, what are the languages which you need to learn for becoming a hacker? As you already know that there are hundreds and thousands of languages in the programming world. Basically, C, C++, Python or Perl are recommended to be learned for learning hacking. If we talk about the operating system, so forget about Windows, guys. If you want to become a hacker, you need to get rid of the habit of using Windows, because a hacker using Windows is none other than a joke. So what operating system do you need to learn for learning hacking? I recommend you to learn Linux. Also in Linux there is a Kali Linux, which contains several pre-built utilities for the purpose of hacking and getting into the systems. Once you have learned all the pre-mentioned programming languages or any of it, and also the Linux operating system, then you can try hacking of your own. And for that purpose, I recommend you to start with open source projects. What are the open source projects now? Open source projects are the projects whose code is made publicly accessible to view and potentially change. Linux itself is an open source project, so you can try working on these things. Now, how do they do it? Hackers usually perform many kind of attacks, of which there are some. Number one is brute force attack, in which the attacker systematically checks all possible key combinations for passwords or any other encrypted information until the correct one is found. The operating system Kali Linux, as I have already told you about, contains all pre-built utilities for this brute force attack, so you can try it. Second one is DDoS attack. DDoS expansion is distributed denial of service attack. Hackers in this kind of attack floods the computer system with commands. A distributed denial of service attack occurs when multiple systems flood the bandwidth or resources of a targeted system, usually one or more web servers. Third one is DNS cache poisoning or DNS spoofing, we call it. This form of computer hacking, in which corrupt domain name system data is introduced into a DNS resolver's cache, causing the name server to return an incorrect IP address. This results in traffic being diverted to the attacker's computer or any other computer. So, all this was about hacking, and go for all these things if you really want to become a hacker. Please like and subscribe the video if you really found it interesting. Thank you and bye bye.